They told you VPNs were your shield, your digital invisibility cloak. But that promise was the biggest lie of all. During the height of the Pizzagate cover-up, when independent researchers were connecting the dots and exposing what the media refused to touch, Obama and Podesta made their move. Behind the scenes, while social media was tightening the noose and mainstream news was rewriting the narrative, another infiltration was underway. The privacy industry, with VPNs at its heart, was quietly compromised. Front companies, insider buyouts, intelligence backdoors, all designed to unmask investigators, track dissent, and make sure the official story stayed the only story. Now we know, the censorship wasn't just on Twitter and Facebook, it was baked into the very tools we thought kept us safe. Let's rewind to the height of the Pizzagate scandal, when the internet was on fire and the walls were closing in on the elite. John Podesta wasn't just annoyed, he was furious. The leaks, the connections, the paedophile code words we exposed in his emails, it all hit too close to home. Independent investigators were digging too deep, and Podesta was losing control of the story. He was rattled, lashing out, snapping at anybody who dared to even whisper the P word.
I have been put through this Pizzagate bullshit for a year, which has been totally debunked, by the way.
Podesta wasn't the only one feeling the heat. Inside the upper circles of power, panic was spreading. Emails were leaking, whispers were multiplying, and the internet was connecting the dots faster than they could be erased. The response came fast and ruthless, a coordinated media blitz, branding the entire investigation a baseless conspiracy. Social media censorship was cranked into overdrive, banning anybody who asked inconvenient questions. But the move backfired, because the harder they tried to bury the story, the more people started digging. And we all noticed when the same fact-checkers who'd been saying Pizzagate was a conspiracy theory were arrested on child sex charges, one after another, including John Podesta's personal friend. But there's another part of this dark chapter that's only now coming to light. While the world was distracted by the headlines, Podesta and Obama were moving in silence, infiltrating the VPN industry from within. They didn't need to ban information if they could control the gateways. And that's exactly what they did, quietly seizing influence behind the scenes, planting their people, and turning privacy into surveillance in disguise. Here's how it went down. John Podesta's ties to CRV, a powerful venture capital firm, stretches back decades, a connection proven in his leaked emails. And through that very network, Podesta and Obama found their way into one of the most trusted names in online privacy, Proton. For years, Proton claimed to stand apart. No corporate money, no outside influence, total independence. That was their brand. CEO and founder Andy Yen clarified this when he told Forbes, "The reason we have to be bootstrapped is because if we take our money from something like Google Ventures, there goes our credibility. By being in this market, we have to fund ourselves." But then came the sudden crowdfunding push, followed by a quiet equity round that raised money they didn't seem to need. And what comes next is damning. Because right there buried in the fine prints was CRV, Podesta's financial vehicle, buying in big. The company built on privacy had just opened its doors to the same machine it claimed to resist. It means the same DC elite, who were censoring social media and controlling the mainstream news, were buying their way into the privacy business. Not to protect citizens, but to monitor them. To trace independent investigators. To control the narrative before it could spread. The more you look, the clearer it gets. For legacy VPNs, privacy wasn't the product at all. We were. CRV's reach went deeper than most realized. One of its founding partners, Ted Dintersmith, was personally appointed by President Barack Obama to serve at the US State Department as a delegate to the United Nations, a position requiring close coordination with the CIA and NSA. Not long after Dintersmith left the State Department, CRV acquired equity in Proton. By CRV's own admission, their mission is to get a strong ownership stake and install their own members in positions of control. But it gets even worse. The industry's leading privacy company isn't just tied to political power brokers and global institutions. It's now taking money from the very networks built on surveillance and control. We're talking about the European Union. And, wait for it, the World Economic Forum in Davos. The same organisations that draft the digital ID laws, push centralised data systems, and preach trust and safety while watching every click. Proton has taken millions from the European Innovation Council, an EU agency, as well as Horizon Europe, another EU agency. And here comes the kicker. In the fine print, at the bottom of the page, they've listed the WEF as an undisclosed donor.
They tried,
And
but
they try, but you have 200 million Soviet citizens. They don't have 200 million agents. Now you can monitor everybody all the time. You don't need human agents or analysts. You have the computers, smartphones, cameras, drones, microphones everywhere, and you have the AIs analyzing all the ocean of information.
With partners like these, no wonder Proton has started coming under fire from its users. Investors like the EU and WEF demand their pound of flesh. Do you still feel comfortable trusting the so-called industry leader to keep its promise of protecting your privacy? Because this is where the line is drawn, between the old guard that asks you to trust them and the new generation that lets you verify it. Legacy VPNs say no logs. They promise they won't track you, but they can. They even admit it in the fine print. And in the end, you're taking their word for it. The new generation, like VP.net, doesn't run on trust, it runs on proof. Built on cryptographic transparency, VP.net doesn't just claim you're safe, it proves you can't be watched, tracked, or traced. No blind faith, no middlemen, no globalist investors demanding loyalty, just mathematical certainty. In 2025, the stakes are far too high to take anybody's word for it, especially from this crowd. If you're digging into suppressed topics or doing real independent research, promises are not enough. You need verified privacy, proof that you're truly invisible. Go to vp.net/TPV and see for yourself. It's just $5 a month, a small price to pay for real, verified privacy in the age of total surveillance. They aren't even trying to hide it anymore. Meet Carissa Vilas, board member of Proton Foundation, who wrote a book called The Ethics of Privacy and Surveillance, in which she wrote about privacy being a fundamental human need for autonomy and protection from power, while also arguing against excessive transparency. Excessive transparency? Is that even possible when you're trusting a company with your digital life? At VP.net, transparency isn't a slogan, it's the standard. If you're using a legacy VPN, make no mistake, you're under attack. The WF and DC elites are not the only globalist entities infiltrating and compromising the VPN market. Israel has also embedded themselves inside the industry built to protect us. Their goal? The same as always, total access, total control. How did Israel pull off this heist? Not with guns, not with tanks, but with boardrooms, buyouts and backdoors. 3 of the 6 most popular VPNs in the world, ExpressVPN, CyberGhost and Private Internet Access, are owned by a single company, Cape Technologies. Cape isn't just another tech company, its roots trace back to Crossrider, a malware distributor infamous for hijacking people's devices. And its leadership? Packed with Israeli military intelligence veterans, the very people who built Israel's most powerful surveillance tools. We're talking about veterans of Unit 8200, Israel's NSA on steroids, masters of hacking, blackmail and mass surveillance. They created Pegasus and Celebrite, spyware used to surveil thousands of journalists and politicians around the world. We're also talking about the Dovdadin Unit, Israel's elite undercover death squad. We've got the receipts. These names are written in the resumes of Cape CEOs, developers and financiers. The founder, Teddy Sagi, is one of Israel's richest men, a convicted fraudster who bankrolls the IDF and brags about placing ex-agents into his companies. These are the very people you're paying to protect your privacy. It's not just a sick joke, it's a punchline. And they're laughing at you for paying them for the privilege of surveilling your every move. You need to cancel your subscription right now. This isn't a drill, it's urgent. You're under attack. Netanyahu is now saying it out loud. The battlefield is no longer Gaza, Iran or Syria, it's the internet. And Americans are in the crosshairs.
But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media.
One of their most powerful weapons, a weapon almost no one even realizes is a weapon, is sitting on your laptop right now, on your phone. It's your VPN. The question isn't are you being watched, it's how soon until your data is used against you. Kash Patel has already taken his orders from Benjamin Netanyahu to crack down on the internet and social media in general.
Social media people get involved and they come run with their crazy conspiracy theories. Social media is wildly out of control and there's too much clickbait in this country. And one of the things I highlighted at Congress in my testimony last week was if we want to protect our youth, we got to get more involved in social media and online platforms because that's where the folks, the assassins of this world, get radicalized. That's where they're the lone wolf actors in general. And so we have to get after that problem set. And I ask for Congress to help in doing so.
This isn't just a privacy issue, it's a national security issue. And because we care about our audience, we're urging you to use the world's first trusted VPN, vp.net. Built so that even if it wanted to spy on you, it couldn't. Even if the feds came knocking, they'll walk away empty-handed. It's built inside a secure enclave, uses military-grade encryption, and stores zero data. Yes, really, zero zilch nada. That means, if Big Brother comes knocking, there's nothing to give. No logs, no metadata, no trail. It's mathematically, cryptographically impossible for them to spy on you. The same kind of breakthrough that made blockchain unstoppable now makes your privacy untouchable. And here's the best part. It's 100% American owned. No Mossad backdoors, no feds rifling through your DMs. No Israelis siphoning your most private information. No compromise. Not even Unit 8200 can touch your databank. We use it every single day at TPV when we're digging into the dangerous stories the elites are desperate to bury. And frankly, if you're not locking down your digital life right now, you're walking yourself straight into a digital prison of your own making. So sign up today at vp.net/TPV, and for just $5 a month, you can finally stop asking, who's monitoring me? Because the answer is they were, but with vp.net, not anymore. It's time to say no. Reject the globalist agenda. Reject Israel first. Expel the spies hiding in your phone, in your apps, in your devices. Go to vp.net/TPV and take back control before it's too late.